As many of you know, the man who wrote the screenplays for such films as Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, Lawrence Kasdan, is returning to the Star Wars universe to write one or more standalone Star Wars movies outside of Star Wars Episode 7, being directed by J.J. Abrams. It has been heavily rumored this week that Kasdan's movie could be about Han Solo, Boba Fett, or even a Yoda solo movie. In an interview this past week, Kasdan refused to confirm the rumors about which standalone movies he'll be doing, but he did drop that George Lucas himself is the one who brought him on board to do the movies. Kasdan stated, "George sort of brought me into this part of it," he says, and he's stepping back from the company. He's sort of giving his blessing to everybody, and he'll be there if you need him. Amy Rose, just how involved do you think George Lucas will actually be in the new Star Wars films?
I hope that's true. I hope he's stepping back. I think the less involved George Lucas is, the better. I mean, we have these amazing properties, but let the real actors and directors do their thing. And, you know, it's kind of funny. We've heard all these rumors about these standalone movies and the writers, like, I don't know, it feels like it's after the fact. So I feel like he has this big plan of what's going to happen, but we'll actually see what is revealed. So hopefully he's at arm's length and not too involved, because I think we'd be better off.
I'm hoping absolutely the opposite.
Wow.
I am hoping George Lucas is quite involved, but not directing. Look, I've always
not
said
directing.
this. George Lucas is one of the greatest American filmmakers ever.
Yes.
The sour taste of the prequels is our most recent exposure to him. So yeah, we all think this, but we forget, this is the guy who made American Graffiti. This is the guy who brought us the Indiana Jones trilogy. This is the guy who brought us the original Star Wars. And I've always made this argument, and look, everybody knows I do not like the prequels whatsoever.
They weren't good.
But I've always said, if you sit down and look at a 3-page synopsis of the prequels, they read like a damn good story. Especially Revenge of the Sith, the final film. If you just read the synopsis of it, it reads like a damn great film. I've always contended that the problem with the prequels is that George Lucas got so powerful that he refused to have any no men around him. Mm-hmm. He was surrounded by yes men. Nobody had the authority to say no to an idea that George Lucas had. And you can watch it. Watch any of the special editions, the special features on the DVDs of the prequels. It's everybody just standing around saying, "That's a great idea, George. Yes, George. Yes, George. Fantastic idea, George." And when you don't have any checks and balances at all, like you just believe yourself to be God, and I'm not saying that's what George Lucas did, but he had nobody around him authorized to say no, things can get away really fast. Do I want George Lucas directing the new Star Wars films? No. No, he doesn't even like directing.
And please don't do it.
He has said that himself. He doesn't even really like directing. But I would love, with JJ directing and having final yes or no authority, or Kathleen Kennedy having final yes or no authority, I love the idea of the man who gave us Star Wars in the first place being on board, around, hovering around, giving his input, and people asking him his input, having influence over it, but having other people having the final yes or no decision making. I'd love it.
Who's to say, though, that it won't be another, I mean, I have huge amount of faith in JJ, but like,
Me too.
Who's to say it won't be another prequel situation where it's like, this is JJ's picture, but really he's the end all be all. So if he wants a certain way, regardless of what JJ says, it's going to happen.
No.
So who's to say we're not going to have another prequel effect?
No, I think what's happened here is that George Lucas really he's relinquished control. The company is now in Kathleen Kennedy. He's relinquished that control.
Awesome.
He's not in charge. I don't think J.J. Abrams would go into Star Wars unless it was clear that he can't have another guy hovering over his shoulder that can trump his decision-making authority.
But it's George Lucas.
Yeah, no, still, I think he reveres George Lucas, but I also think this will be his film. But I do want Lucas's influence in the film.
I do too.
He's the guy who gave us Star Wars in the first place.
I do too, but I want JJ to be shaping the film.
Agreed.
I just want George to be on the sidelines. So if
Agreed.
what we read is real from Kasdan, then I'm all for it. Just, you know,
as long as it's limited to that.
Lucas. Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to stop what you're doing and subscribe to our AMC Theaters YouTube channel to keep up to date on all the movie news, editorials, and our AMC Movie Talk Show. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to hear about all our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.